I am Dr. T.P. retired space scientist. One small bit of geomorphology was created and uploaded on YouTube last week. But then when you look at geomorphology, the evolution of Earth, the origin of Earth, the interior rocks and crust of Earth, the formation of Earth, the evolution of Earth, it's important to understand the whole universe as a part. I started with the geomorphology because we are talking about geography. Apart from other social science subjects, geography is considered as slightly difficult because it has got a lot of science. The cosmology can be learned through physics, or people credit that it's a subject of physics. Yes, it's a subject of physics. So you must have a physics orientation towards understanding geography. So when you look at Earth, Earth is part of a bigger universe. So it's also important to understand the origin of the universe, to understand the origin of Earth, the evolution of the universe, the constituents in the universe, the life cycle of the stars. So the subject universe is to be understood very carefully, so that your understanding of the Earth becomes much simpler. That's why geography starts with universe. It's a large magnetic cloud. We also have to learn for the UPSC exams the Indian scientific heritage. Akrishti shaktistu mahitaya yat ghastam swabhimukham swashaktiya akrishyate, etc., etc. Each globe or each planet or each universe or each satellite has got its own gravitational force, and one gravitational force, one object is here, and another gravitational force, another object is here. When there are multiple objects with the gravitational force attracting to each other, padattoyam k, it can never fall anywhere. It gets attracted by itself and then start moving in a circular motion or orbital motion, or it could be an elliptical orbit. So there are a lot of objects, or there are a lot of planets or Earth or satellite, sun, lot of suns. It could be Milky Way galaxy sort of things, or universe. So understand these concepts. So this is Akash, or space. Space and outer space. The origins of space. These are the concepts to be understood. So we have the Big Bang theory. It could look like a story, a scientific story. A lot of postulates came. The Big Bang theory was explained or unexplained or understood or proved or disproved. But same concept you can see in the Bharatiya Sankalpam also. Modern science also has got only postulates. In Kalidasa's Kumara Sambhavam, there is a mention of saying that the learned people say that the whole universe came with a spontaneous bombardment of a small object in terms of sound, and it came. So the theory of space, to understand that we have got bigger telescopes today. We have in Pune the astronomical center, where we have got great astronomy professor who also have got a Hubble telescope to look at the space and understand the constellations of this. The expanding universe, the Doppler effect, which are all physics, should be understood. Look at all these terminologies: Doppler effect, outer space, theory of space, expanding universe, Big Bang theory, the steady state theory. After some time it gets into a steady state, and oscillations of the universe itself is moving from one place to another place. There are some concept called the anti-universe, and some people say that the universe is closed. It is ever expanding. Some other people say that it is ever expanding. and the outer space has got great things to understand. And the speed of one planet to another planet, one solar system to another solar system, the universe, when you talk about, you don't talk about in kilometers, you talk about in light year speed. So understand the light year concept, the unit of astronomical distances, astronomical time, all these have to be understood. Then the outer space, how you can track it, how do you distinguish from one to another one, the colors of the universe. It's a dark space, but when it has got light, it has got some color which is from that. So understand the electromagnetic spectrum. When you talk about color, you have got magnetic spectrum, which moves from 0.4 to 0.7 is the optical region in which you get all the lights. So the first one is violet, then blue, green, yellow, orange, red, the Vibgyor concept. Understand the electromagnetic spectrum in terms of the wavelength, 0.4 micrometer. And understand, when you talk about the electromagnetic spectrum, it is not the optical alone. You also have got higher and lower magnetic spectral ranges like X-ray and radio wave, microwave. Understand these concepts. So when you have to understand this concept, you should also understand the movement of electrons, electromagnetic, so movements of electrons very fast. So understand the Einstein's theorem on the electromagnetic spectrum, the concept of photons, and the temperature is one radiation which is to be understood. So understand the temperature and the radiation, radio waves. The wavelength of each of these is the concept of different energy level, therefore the different wavelength. The different wavelength is inversely proportional to the oscillations or maybe the periods. So understand the period, understand the wavelength, understand the frequency level. So the frequency is what we mention in terms of the wavelength, or the wavelength in terms of the frequency, because it's inversely proportional. The wavelength is more, the frequency is less. The occurrence becomes more when the wavelength is very less. And understand the optical concept, heat, light, and different rays wavelength, all these are related. So when you talk about heat, you should also talk about light. Therefore you should also talk about the radiation concept, the radio astronomy. That is how you understand the speed and when it came, the rays like ultraviolet rays, how it is harmful to the human being, where it falls more, why it falls. So the astronomical terms and the gamma ray, X-ray, and all these have to be understood. And whether it is straight falling, whether it is reflecting from the poles, and the structure of Earth, structure of different planets, how the reflection happens, therefore you have the light color feeling on that. So when you look at in a different wavelength, it looks entirely different. When it is in the optical, it looks in different color. There are beautiful pictures in the radar, infrared, ultraviolet rays, gamma ray, how the universe looks like, how the earth surface looks like. Okay, so understanding the telescopic view. In the optical region you may not be able to see something, so the telescope has got filters which is seen for far and with a different wavelength region. So that also can be understood. And there are a lot of sound which comes in the universe, and there are sound which we hear normally, the sound which I am talking, and the universe also have got sound because it is moving, it has got wavelength. Therefore when we talk about the universe, it also has got the noise pollution in the universe, in the space. The outer space has got a different sound because of the galaxy movement. And see, for example, the sound which we have to compare with the breathing sound which we have got, maybe a honk which the vehicle has got, the noises which we have from the radio, from the music which is happening in a cinema theater, and the surround sound which we compare this, and what is the sound of the universe, because it's a large space with a large vacuum, the sound becomes too large. These, when in the atmosphere it gets filtered and we are not getting affected on the earth, but understand in the space there are a lot of sound. So these concept is to be understood. And there are connected planets, connected universe, connected solar system. There are some which are not connected, so they become totally isolated. The concept of islands in the galaxies, islands in the universe, islands in the space. The galaxy origin has to be understood. Now from the universe you come to the galaxy. In the galaxy, understand whether you are able to see one place to another place. There is a connection, at least in the optical or the seeing concept. There is some connection. Some places you can't even see, therefore they are too far, maybe too unapproachable. Such galaxies and clusters and have to be understood. Understand different world could be there, which may be connected, which may be understood, which could not be understood. The Milky Way galaxy, our home galaxy, which is to be understood perfectly, in which understand the solar system much more closer. When you talk about solar system, ours is one star and there could be multiple stars, or maybe different stars or similar or entirely different style stars could be there. Understand these concepts. Okay, there could be bigger solar system or a smaller solar system, the size of these solar systems, and the concept like the supernova and the nova concept, the supernovae concepts, and such things have to be understood. The constellation of the galaxies and its names, though not important, but a little bit of these concepts. So there are two forces, one is magnetic and the other one is electrical. Do these has got these electromagnetic rays and electromagnetic connections or electromagnetic energy, otherwise it cannot stay. So how much is that when compared to one to another one? Therefore, do we have got the concept of originating a new star, or it is a static universe which will never change? Whether there is an end for universe. If there is a start, there has to be an end. If there is, once it has generated, there could be multiple generations. So is there a possibility of a new star coming up? The origin of stars, when you learn, you should also have these concepts of learning. The life of star, will they vanish? Will they have a life? Because if there is an origin, there is a birth, there has to be a death. So understand whether the origin, understand the life, understand the death, understand the birth of a. Okay. So these are the concepts which are to be understood. When we don't understand something which is fully dark, fully nothing, but there is some concept which is yet to be understood. Okay. There are misleading norms where we think something is there and after some time it is not seen. Such concepts are also explained, like black holes. So this is what is to be understood when you speak about universe. Look at all this vocabulary, the terminology. Try to understand little bit of definition about it. Maybe Wikipedia or maybe any geography book can explain you this further, or we will take some more time to understand and explain this further. Thank you. God bless you.